muy amables. Gracias por bueno, gracias por permitirme estar con ustedes. Muy amables.
Gracias, maestro. Bienvenido.
No, hombre, gracias a ustedes. Con mucho gusto de estar con ustedes en el Centro Universitario en Ecatepec y sobre todo con usted. Dicen que no debemos de hablar bien y mal de quienes están o quienes no están, pero déjenme decirles allá en Ecatepec que ustedes tienen la fortuna, la gran fortuna de tener a una de las mejores coordinadoras de centro de autoacceso que hay en toda la universidad. En la universidad hay más de 50 coordinadores y coordinadoras de centros de autoacceso, que son espacios que ustedes saben para la práctica independiente de la lengua, y ha costado mucho trabajo desde su implementación y sobre todo el mantenimiento de su vitalidad y del trabajo que podemos desarrollar allá. Y créanme que uno de los grandes trabajos que tiene como ejemplos la Universidad Autónoma del Estado de México de lo que se hace en los centros de autoacceso lo tienen ustedes en Ecatepec. Entonces, felicidades a ustedes. Yo con mucho gusto estoy acá con ustedes.
Muchas gracias, maestro. Se supone
No,
que iba a ser al revés la invitación, pero muchas gracias.
no,
Muchas,
no,
muchas
no.
gracias.
No me das las gracias, gracias a usted.
Okay, so let's start. Hello,
Sure.
community YMX Ecatepec. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Snackable. Guys, let me tell you something. We are about to live a whole new experience because this is the first time that in the podcast we have audience, we have spectators. And well, welcome guys. You are from computer engineering and also you are from psychology. So welcome to this episode. It is my pleasure to have you here. And of course, I would like to welcome Professor Juan Amador. So, as you know, I carry out this project with him. Uh, he's always offering insight about this project, about ideas, about how this interview must be carried out. So, welcome, Professor Juan Amador. And also, guys, well, let me introduce our guest. So, the guy that you can see on the screen, I am impressed by his career because he has several degrees. For example, in law, in well, he has a master's in data science, and he has several doctorates in education and in literature. So as you can see, guys, the man that you can see has quite a career, and I am impressed, and I am sure that he is inspiration not only as he has mentioned for the work that we do at the self access centers, but also the way I see it, his inspiration in life, because as you could hear, he has many knowledge about many stuff. So let's welcome Victor Galeana Estrada. So Professor Victor, Dr. Victor, welcome to this episode of Snackable. It is my pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine. Why? Because I always enjoy talking to students and especially talking to YMS students. I have the chance to talk to many people. Luckily, thank God, I have the chance to talk to many people. I have the chance to know many people either here in Mexico and in other countries. And it's always a pleasure being with students. Why? Because I think that what we do is being or trying to be the best in terms of academia, in terms of personal values, and in terms of quality. We students receive the best version of ourselves, and I'm very glad and happy to be here with you today. And pleasure is mine. And apart from that, teacher Esmeralda knows, and I want you to know that I am attached emotionally to Ecatepec because my father used to have a business there in San Cristobal and in San Agustin.
Yeah.
And I I graduated from from an elementary school there, from Unidad Pedagógica de Ecatepec. And that, that event in my life, because that was an event in my life that was shocking for me, because I was a guy from Toluca going to live to a new city, new people, to a new shift. I was used to being the morning shift. And then when I get to Ecatepec, I just was plunged into the afternoon shift with new people, with new customs. So that was shocking for me, but I think it was a way, an experience that allowed me to just saw things in a different way, and to saw that I had to fight for myself. I had to be responsible, and I had to just continue my preparation. And I'm really very, very emotionally attached to Ecatepec, and that's why I'm here with you this afternoon. Thank you,
Thank
teacher.
you. Thank you so much. And I think that the thing that you have mentioned, that you had to leave home, it is
Yeah.
that is the reason that you are the person that you are now, with many degrees, with many experience about education, with many experience about academic stuff. So it is impressed, and I think our audience is about to know more about you. But well, I would
Thank you.
like to start. Uh, how did your story with teaching English, with the teaching English begin?
Well, that's really interesting. When I was a kid, I always loved. I was a kid who used to watch lots of television. To be honest, I used to watch films, cartoons. So I like that, and I am someone who loves music. So my history with English begins with sounds, with listening to music in English, to listening to this new and strange manner of communication. And I wanted to understand what were the lyrics about, what were the ideas that were coming there. So I always had the motivation to study English, but I couldn't do it when I was young, when I was a kid. So my history with English formally starts with my classes in secondary school, and with this moving from Mexico City, well, from Toluca to Cuautitlan, in fact, and to living in Cuautitlan and studying in Catepec, changed my contact with English language, because of course you live there in Ecatepec, in Cuautitlan, in all the metropolitan zone of Mexico. We have access to many different things. With I'm talking about the last century. You can we used to get music on CDs, on tapes. Sorry, we used to get music on tapes, on cassettes, and so that was kind of at the same time a motivation to learning, but at the same time a mystery towards what was that. And then I was in secondary school in Cuautitlan and in high school in Cuautitlan, and then I had an interview. I had a homework assignment where they asked me to go to the university I wished I could study, and I just came back to Toluca because it was easier for me, because I had my mother's family here, and so I came to the Faculty of Languages, School of Languages in those times, and I came. But the only thing I wanted to do when I just found out that I wanted to study languages was one thing, and I'm going to tell you about that. I went to what is now called Torre Académica, where they have all the degrees and all the careers, and they have all the information about the degrees in the university. And a very kind person, a very human person, told me, Exporienta, the event that is devoted to telling high school students what our degrees are, has just passed. But I can give you these flyers, these leaflets, in which you can check what are the different careers we have. So I started studying them, and I started reading them, and I found one that was very attractive for me. That was the BA in English language. And I said, wow, BA in English language, what is this? Because I had in my mind the idea that was said there by my father. My father wanted me to be a doctor, because
All right.
in his context, a physician, in his context, doctors have money and doctors are successful. But
Okay.
I don't like that much seeing the body hurt or seeing people suffering. So that was not my thing. So I came with this flyer of the BA in languages, in English language, and I just started to see the subject: history of art, literature, history of England, history of the United States, literature, teaching, translation. And I said, this is what I wish I could know and I could do for the future. But I chose my degree only for one reason. So guess what was that reason? I never thought about becoming a teacher, even though my mother's a teacher. My mother was a teacher of elementary school for 40 years. My sister is a teacher. But I never thought about becoming a teacher, a translator, or an interpreter. That was not on my map. Um, but I chose my degree just for one reason. Guess what? If any of the
What do you
students
think, guys?
in
I
the
don't know.
audience can guess, why did I study languages? I could have studied to become a doctor. I could have studied to become a psychologist, or I don't know, any other a computer engineer. I love computers. The more I know people, the more I love computers, to be honest. Uh, but why did I study languages? That is something that you might feel surprising. So
Okay,
I
let's
would
ask
accept
our
any.
audience.
Sure, I would accept any wrong answers on the reason why I studied
Guys,
languages.
yeah, guys, what do you think he has studied languages?
Sure, the being in English language. Why? Why? I had only one reason in my mind.
Do you have any idea, guys?
It was
No,
not
no,
to.
no, really.
It was not to have money.
Yes.
It was not to earn money. It was not to please my parents, because my father always wanted me to be a doctor.
Okay,
So
I think we have a student who wants
sure,
to share her
please,
idea. So please,
please.
what do you think? If you want to talk uh, here or there, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is your idea?
Please
Yes.
come to the front for me to see you. Please, come on.
He wants to see you. So would you? No, no, really. You
Sure,
don't
come
want to?
on,
Yes.
please,
Let's
come.
interact. Yes,
Come
go
on,
ahead.
life,
Yes,
life,
please.
life is for the brave ones. Come on. There are no right answers, so come on.
She is a student from psychology, so
Good. That's great.
yeah. So
Psychology,
let's
good.
hear her
I have
ideas.
very good friends who are in psychology. Good, great. Thank you. Give me
I
your idea. Don't worry. Don't worry if it is wrong or right. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you have an idea. So tell me.
I think you can by travel by communicate with other person,
Yeah.
maybe friend, maybe someone a sheep.
Sure, that's a good idea. I like traveling. I like meeting people. I'm a serious person, to be honest. I'm a shy, serious, lonely person. But I like talking to people. But that was a good reason. But that was not the main reason why I studied languages. So, do you have any other idea? But thanks
Do you have any other
for your
ideas,
idea.
guys? I don't know. I think it is kind of difficult to guess because you mentioned music, you mentioned
Sure,
the beliefs of your father. I mean, I think that
sure,
you had such a good reason there. Um,
sure.
but I don't know. You mentioned a lot of things, but I don't know. Do you have any other idea, guys?
Any other idea? It can be wrong. So don't worry. It's easy, simple.
Do
Don't
you have?
worry. You don't have to be correct. Don't worry. You don't have to be accurate. Any ideas are welcome. Remember, any ideas are welcome. We have no right answers. Come on.
They are saying that because you wanted to see movies, maybe.
I'm a film lover. That's true. I'm a film lover. I was in a breakfast one day with two other people, and I was telling them, I have a very 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 bad memory. And so we started talking about films, and I was telling them, oh, this actor appears in this film, and this actor appears in that other film, and that actor appears in that other film. And they looked at me and told me, so good that you have bad memory. I have a good memory for movies and bad memory for people. So, but that was close. But one
Okay,
last,
that was
and I
a
will
good
tell you
try. That was a good try.
one
So, guys,
one
do you
one
have
last, and
any?
one last,
Yes.
and I will answer. Please, come on.
Do you have any other ideas?
Sure, come on, there, come on. One more idea, please, come on.
No, no ideas. You are out of. I think they are out of ideas. But
What about you? What about you, teacher? You can
my
have an
guess
idea. Sure.
is that because if you knew English, you could be able to learn a lot of stuff. So That is
No,
my guess. I don't
no,
know.
that was a good guess, but that was so profound and deep. Um, Imagine a 17-year-old guy. The only thing I wanted to do, or the only reason why I study English language, my BA in English language, is because I wanted to understand the lyrics of songs and music. That was
So
the
at the end, it
only
was
reason.
music.
Yeah, that was the only reason. I hadn't thought about becoming a teacher or translator. I just wanted to understand the music in English. So why? Because music is my passion. Music in English is my passion. So that was the reason. And then one thing led to the other. I was in a translation class in fifth semester, I think, and I had been in two job interviews before to be a teacher, and they rejected me because I was too young and because I didn't have any experience.
Hmm.
One teacher, my translation teacher, is dead now, sadly. But my translation teacher came to me and told me, Victor, do you work? And I told her, no, teacher, I don't work because they asked someone who has experience and I don't have experience, but I have tried. Would you like to work? She asked me, would you like to work? And I answered, yes. Why? Because I have a fault in my life. I have a lot of mistakes in my life, and I have a lot of bad points about my life. And one of them is I never say no to work. Never.
So
If you,
you are a workaholic.
uh,
That's not healthy at all.
no, no, I'm not a workaholic. I
Or,
am someone who gets easily distracted, who is kind of lazy in some things. But if you invite me to work, I'll be there. If you invite me to a party or to a celebration, I will not go. But if you
and I
invite,
think,
yeah, if you invite me
yeah,
to work,
I
I'll be there.
okay, yeah, I was about to say that that is the reason that you know a lot of stuff in many fields. I mean, because as you said, you like working a lot,
Yeah,
and that lets you learn from law, from literature, from books, from music, for even your travelings. I think that
sure.
is a great experience. But well, I think that you are just a very capable man and hardworking and an inspiration, as I have mentioned. But well, that leads me to the following question.
Good.
uh, you have pursued multiple postgraduate degrees. What keeps you motivated to continue learning? So, is there
My,
a field that you haven't tried? Because,
I,
as I have mentioned, guys, I
yeah,
think it is interesting that just a single person can know about law, about
yeah.
literature, about computers, about data science, and so on. So, please, guys, I just would like to know what keeps you motivated in learning.
Uh, I think my main motivation is my ignorance. I am a very ignorant person, uh, and as I know my limits, and I know that I am an ignorant person, that I don't know about the world, about things, that keeps me motivated. I Every day I have questions about life, about love, about friendship, about family, about my working fields, and so I look for the answers. I There was a time in my life in which I was waiting for the answers, and these answers never came. So I think, well, I need to be more proactive. So I need to look for things. Things will not come to me. I need to look for them. So I started living my life looking for the things I wanted to know and I wanted to do, and becoming independent in the way of thinking and in the way of um, making and doing too. No, so that keeps me motivated. The fact that I am a limited person, and the fact also that I will die one day, and I don't want that day to come and find me doing nothing and just ignorant, just as I was in the past.
I think that has to do with your philosophical part of you, you know? I
Yeah,
mean, you have just described life as a person who studied philosophy. So, yeah, I see what you see. I see.
Sure,
Yeah, I mean, philosophy. I think there is a such a great field,
sure.
and maybe our psychologists here might have some ideas about philosophy, you know. But I think that the answer that you have just said, it is. I mean, it couldn't have been said by somebody that doesn't have this experience in philosophy. So the way you see life, the way you see yourself as someone, as somebody that, despite the fact that knows a lot in many fields, you ended up saying that you don't know anything
I
about.
don't know anything. I
Yeah,
don't know anything. I don't know anything about life. I don't know anything about human relationships. I don't know how to handle delicate things. I don't know how to keep. I don't know. So that's why I want to know. I want to change who I am.
yeah,
Uh, I want to improve myself. I want to be able to be someone who can be trustworthy, uh, someone who can be there for people if they ask, if they need any help. So I think that's why I study. I think that's the reason.
okay, thank you for sharing that. And well, that leads me to the following section of this interview.
Sure,
I think that you can see on the screen a question that says, what do these pictures make you feel?
sure.
So,
Oh, this is the psychological side of the
yes,
interview,
we
right?
have,
It's
yeah,
great.
for
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
let me tell your students from psychology that it is very important that you keep this in mind. What is the thing we do? What is the thing we sell? We are all selling things. We're doing something. And what is our business in terms of psychology? What is our business? What do we sell? We sell well-being. We sell peace. We sell a better life. So when a client comes to us, when a patient comes to us, he's coming to you because he needs you. He's coming to you because he hasn't found any other way. So we should be humble in listening and we should be very attentive to what his or her motivations might be and be able to be someone who provides that tools he or she might be needing.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And well, now I think that you can see the first picture. So
Sure.
what do you think? What do you think about it?
Is it the university's sign, the
Exactly. Yeah.
coat of arms for the university? Wow.
Exactly.
I
The
can
colors,
I can
yes.
tell you that that leads me to the past. Why? Because when I was here in Toluca, I didn't know anything about the university. And when I was there in Ecatepec and Cuautitlan, I didn't know anything about the university. So I I came and started, and that meant for me future. And in the past, when I was 16 and 17, that meant for me also independence because I don't live with my parents since 17. So even though I live with my relatives for a while, uh, I don't live in a home home and family setting since 17. So it's university means for me independence, freedom of thought, and also university means everything. And in the universe, in the world, we are all included. If you believe in God, you're included. If you don't believe in God, you're included. If you have one philosophy, if you all of us, no matter who we are included in the university. Probably no other institution in the world does this. That's why I love about this.
I think that all of us feel familiar with this picture because I mean I think that YMX is very passionate, sorry, about the way we teach, and our students must be proud of belonging to this beautiful institution because they spend like almost 5 or more years here at university at college.
Sure.
So I don't know. I think that somehow we become family. Even teachers, when we are in the classroom, when we spend time with you guys, um, of course we know you, of course we see you, of course, we know the things that you are able to do and the things that you need to do in order to improve, in order to learn. So I think that YMX means for the people that we somehow contribute here, you know. So that's my belief, and also I share your idea. So let's go
Sure.
with the following picture. Just give me a sec. So
Don't worry.
you can see the following picture, because I think that this man is going to about to say something important to this picture. So guys, you must be interested uh, in
Wow.
traveling, in studying. Yeah, for sure. I knew I was expecting that reaction actually. Uh,
Sure.
but guys, as I have mentioned since the beginning, this guy has a lot of experience in many fields, in many fields. So I don't know, just please tell us something about that picture.
Sure. Well, University of Southampton, the place where I worked in England, I have great friends there, and it was one of my life dreams going to the UK, to the United Kingdom. I wanted to see what was the origin of the language, how people live there, and I had a chance in 2014, 2013, and 2014, and 2015, and 2016, I think, to go there and to work to have a life there. And um, Southampton for me represents this vision of what is an international academic setting, that sometimes Mexicans, us, we believe that we are not good enough. We believe that we are not brave enough. We believe that we are not smart enough. And when you see the international context, and when you see that you can find people from different uh, countries. I work my co-workers who were from Greece, from Poland, from China, from India, from the United States, from Colombia, from and I work for students of England, Germany, of China, Kurdistan, in Japan. So you see that the world is huge, but at the same time is small, and that even though we have differences, we are humans, and we share motivations, we share passions, and sometimes you see that nationalities just are a label, and that you're there. And also, this experience helped me value Mexico a lot. Why? Because you can see that even though these are developed countries and their mentality is strong, they are honest. They expect you to tell the truth. They expect you to be truthful. They like to they like to ask you, and they like to. They are not afraid of asking you. They are not afraid of having a discussion. They are not afraid of confronting in the good sense, and that makes you grow. That makes you grow. And strongly recommend that you could have an experience like this, either for work, either for study, because that will help you understand who you are too, and what you have here. Sometimes we are so unfair with Mexico and with our families, with our country, with our university. Oh, that university is better. That country is better. That family is better. That girl is more beautiful. That man is more handsome. That person has more money. And when you see what is it to be somewhere, something, somewhere else, and see that you have a lot of things here, you value. Let me just give you one example. Where I lived there, I had to walk 2 or 3 kilometers to find a store, to find food. Um, of course, there are good and bad things. For example, let me give you one example. When I was there, I thought, what was the difference between Mexico and England here? And when I was on the bus, on a double-decker bus, I saw the difference. I saw a man in a wheelchair in a bus stop waiting for the bus. And I thought to myself with my idea, how is this man going to do to climb into the bus? That didn't make sense to me. So the bus approached, stopped, and with a kind of elevator, just did this. The man, the car opened the door, and the man itself could jump into the bus without anything. When I saw that, I thought, I said to myself, this is the difference. In Mexico, we are light years from this. And another thing, when I was very north. I was coming to York. I was coming to York on a bus. I landed in Leeds and took a bus to go to York. And it was very late at night. I think it was 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And it was only the bus driver and me on the bus, and the surroundings were completely dark, very dark. And so at a bus stop, three girls of 20, 22, 23, wearing party clothes, just got into the bus. They were merry, they were happy, they were having a good time, and they didn't feel uh, in danger, or they didn't feel that they were sexually harassed or something like that. They were just there safely. And then some blocks away, they just got off the bus. And it was the same. It was very dark, and they were walking in peace and walking safely. When I saw that, I thought to myself, this is the difference. This is um, the first word. And not in the way of criticizing my country, but in the way that we can say we need to work on that. And then, well, that's a great image. Still design.
Yeah, well, before we continue, I would just would like to say
Yeah,
that, of course, in Mexico, we would like to experience a technology like that. I mean,
sure.
we might have it, but maybe just rich people have access to it,
Yeah.
or people that have more resources, you know. But in this case, I am glad that you were able to experience a lifestyle like that. So I just have one question:
Sure.
how did you do when you come back to Mexico? I mean, you must have missed all that. I mean, that kind of lifestyle.
Well, that changed my perception when coming back. And when you see that, your mentality changes. And you see, I have two options: continuing living the way I lived before I went, or trying to change my country based on what I can do. Not telling people that they should change. They will not change. But I can change, upgrading my standards, being more honest, being more responsible, being more human. So that changed completely my perception. And it's what I do up to this day,
Yeah, for
trying
sure.
trying to have the same standard I work with and I had there here in Mexico. And probably in a way that can change the things
Yeah, for
we
sure.
think. No?
Yeah, I can see that. And now, please, the following picture. What do you think
Or
about this picture?
well, the University of Hildesheim. Well, that was a really good experience too, because I had the chance to be in England and then to be in Germany. And in Germany, they are they are very serious. Unlike the British are serious too, but the German are more serious. But they have one thing. They that's my perception. They see Mexicans equally. I mean,
Right.
they have respect for us.
Okay.
They see us at the same level. They are very formal, but it's a different thing. But at the same time, uh, they are more strict in the way they do things. I mean,
Okay.
um, they Everything has to be ordered, set. Everything has to be planned. Everything has to be perfectly fixed. And we come with this Mexican idea and Latin idea of chaos, of not planning, and that's shocking for them. So you, in a way, you adapt yourself, but in a way you bring. And let me tell you about two experiences, if you allow me to do so.
Yeah, please go ahead.
One experience, I went there to an academic meeting, and the first thing one teacher told me was, "Oh, the cartel of Toluca is coming." So
Okay.
that helped me see what was the perception of Mexico in Germany. And I was not mad. I was sad because I thought this is not the context for this. And if it wasn't true, uh, that's not proper. But if it was true, imagine saying these things here. But and one of the professors, a Portuguese one, complained, and he said, uh, "That's very disrespectful." And ever since that moment, I love the Portuguese because they were also very good with us. And
Yeah.
the second thing that happened to me, I was talking to deans, I was talking to directors, I was talking to, let's say, very important people in Germany, and they told me, "What?" This is a real question. They told me, "What do you Mexicans have?" And I just looked at and say, "What do you think? What do you mean by what do us Mexicans have?" Yes, because we have known this guy, we have known this director for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years, and we have never seen him smiling. And so you Mexicans come and he talks to you and he's cheerful and laughing and touchy and
Yeah.
embracing. What do you Mexicans have? And also in Germany, Germany is the number one in Europe. They told me, you Mexicans have a great ability like no other town, that no other country in the world to solve problems. You are
Okay.
very
That's a good perspective.
sure. And I said, what do you mean? Because these people have been in Mexico, have been in Germany. We were in a square in an event, and suddenly one wire failed, and the event was canceled. And
Okay.
so they told me, if this had happened in Mexico, you would have fixed it with bubble gum, with a rope,
Okay.
with something. So you
Imagine that.
Yes.
Yes.
So you Mexicans have the greatest ability to solve problems. So that was very motivating for me,
Yeah, for
coming
sure.
coming from foreigners, and also coming from in
A
Germany.
country like that. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Okay. So
believe in yourself.
yeah, of course, believe in yourself, guys.
Sure.
So we have this last picture. So I
Sure.
think our audience is familiar with this place, with this picture. But I would like to ask, what do you think about
Well,
that
let me
one?
tell you that if I had to choose one model for a self-access center, that would be Ecatepec. Why?
That's amazing.
Why? Because it has the perfect structure for what it, what a self-access center should be. We have self-access centers who are just the size of half a classroom. We are self-access centers who are the size of two computing labs of 40 computers. That's a lot. But I think the self-access center in Ecatepec, but not only the self-access center, but it also, I think you miss the picture of you, teacher. You miss your picture there because
Yeah, but I think yeah. Please go on.
no. Let me be honest. Why? Because the space is just a room without people, and people make things possible. These you can see the lockers there, and inside that door, you see these tables where students can work. You see the computers where they can see each other. You see on the back your social service students all the books and things you have your office. So I think that's the ideal, and that picture for me means learning, but also means passion, means the desire to do things, means possibilities, uh, that things can be done only if you want. And you are the best example, teacher. You are
Thank you so
of,
much.
of things that can be possible, no matter what we are. Sorry, who we are,
Robin.
what we have,
Yeah.
and it is just spirit. So, if you ask me one question, I had been in positions in which I had to hire people, computer engineers, psychologists. What do I see in a computer engineer? What do I see in a psychologist? I can see a lot of qualification, PhD, master's degree, bachelor's degree, certifications, but sometimes their attitude is this.
Okay,
And,
yeah, good
and
point.
so you see the other way around. You see that they have very low qualifications. They only have a bachelor's degree, or, but their attitude is this. So guess who I would prefer? I would prefer this person. Why? Because it is very difficult to change people's attitude. And these people have it. These people know that they don't know. These people want to learn. These people want to continue. And they are usually good human beings. So I prefer the second ones to the first ones. Why? Because attitude is important. The desire to do things.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that. With that, sorry. But now that we are talking about self-access centers and
Sure,
the spectators that we have today, they
sure.
have in their degrees have make use of the self-access center. So actually, I have been their teacher from for some of them. But I would like to know how do you see autonomy and technology shaping language learning today? What is your
Uh,
perspective?
sure, sure. It's not the future. It's the past. Autonomy is the past. With the advent of artificial intelligence, with the advent of more technology, and with the advent of this lonely world, I call this a lonely world. Why? Because we are lonely people. We prefer being in our cell phones than being with others. We prefer being in other Facebook profiles rather than be talking to someone I don't like, or rather to be talking to a friend live. We have hidden in the virtual world not to face our real fears. What are our real fears? That I can be rejected. What are our real fears? That I am not the best one. What are our real fears? That I'm not good enough. And so, I have something to tell you. So what? Language learning has to do with me setting goals and with me using tools like virtual reality, like artificial intelligence, in a way that can fit my goals, that I can lead me to uh, being more prepared for the future challenges and for the present challenges. So my life is not mine. My life is not for me. My life is for others who can come to me looking for help. So if I go to self-learning and autonomy, that means that I have understood one lesson. I have to be beyond myself to learn because I cannot be the cure and the disease at the same time. So I need others, either live or in books, in words, in videos that can tell me or that can help me to continue learning. And you don't have to like English, you don't have to like languages. You can hate English, you can hate the United States, but use language as a tool to have 30% more of a salary and a 90% more probability of living abroad and working abroad. So only for that.
Okay, so I think I see your point, and you have mentioned several important aspects about English, about salary. Guys, if you know English, you can have better opportunities of salary. And also, you mentioned something important related to education, and it is artificial intelligence.
Sure.
And that leads me to the following question: what is your perspective on using artificial intelligence as a learning and a teaching tool?
Sure.
What do you think? Um, I mean, of course, nowadays artificial intelligence help students to learn, help teachers to somehow improve our work. But what do you think? What is your perspective about it?
Well, I think artificial intelligence is just like the pinnacle. It's just like the zenith. It's just like the sunrise and the it's the midday of technology in humanity. Starting where with industrial revolution, with Second World War. What we're seeing in artificial intelligence is the first applications of what the United States thought for the world after the Second World War. And I think that, well, I can share with you a document related to how economy and how jobs would be affected in the future with the use
Okay,
of
yeah.
artificial technology. Sorry, artificial intelligence. So the question is not whether if it is good or bad or whether if we need to use it or not. That's answered. The answer is yes. So how should we adapt to that? Behind artificial intelligence, there's human beings programming. There's computer engineers programming. There are users using it and training it. So artificial intelligence can be a tool for me to reproduce learning experiences, and can help me correct, can help me guide my knowledge and my learning. But I always say this to people talking about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can be a starting point or a point in the middle of your thoughts. It can never be a final stage of your application of your ideas. So you can start with artificial intelligence and then develop some ideas. You can have developed some ideas and then go to artificial intelligence, but don't pretend that the last answer comes from artificial intelligence. That would be a mistake.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I was reading an article about how young people use artificial intelligence, and the statistics mentioned that most of the times they use it for psychological matters.
Sure.
So, yeah, so imagine the impact that this tool, artificial intelligence, has on our young people. So, as you have mentioned, I think it is important that you are using artificial intelligence. Just to check stuff about work, even about life, it is possible, but artificial intelligence shouldn't decide for you. You have the last word. So you have your essence, you have your personality, you have your ideas, your thoughts, your attitudes. So believe in that, believe in the person that you are, and then use artificial intelligence as a tool, not as a thing to order what to do.
But you know what is the problem? That it doesn't have to do with technology. Technology is not a problem. The computer engineers is not a problem.
Yeah,
Companies that are
yeah, for sure.
developing that is not a problem. Humanity. The
Yeah,
idea that we have forgotten who we are, the idea that we have lost the ability to agree or disagree, to share our feelings, to accept things that we don't like, is the thing that is leading us to just using artificial intelligence that will tell
yeah,
me what I want to hear. We are not used to listening to what others say and we don't like it. We swipe it as we do with
yeah,
our cell phones. So it's not artificial intelligence, it's humanity that is not, it's forgetting what took us here. And what took us here to this point is what made us human, the
yeah.
ability to care for one and the other, the ability to consider the other as someone who can be part of your life, and the ability that my person has limits because there's someone else in front.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
That's
I
my
I
point.
also share your idea. Thank you for sharing. And well, guys, as you know, well, the man that you can see on the screen has a lot of experience in English, a lot of experience in, as I have mentioned, in many fields. But I think it is time that we open the floor for you guys to ask somebody, to this guy, to this incredible guy that we have here. So, is there something that you would like to know more about this guy that we have with us today? He has a lot of experience in education, in academic, his travelings in London, in Germany as well, as a coordinator, as a head of the faculty of
Languages.
English. Yes. So, do you have any question for this guy that has lived a lot and that has a lot of experience? Would you like to ask him something? So we have a student that would like to ask you something. So
Sure.
let's open the microphone for
Probably
him.
you can tell them that it can be in Spanish. I can understand Spanish. If they don't want to speak English, they
Okay.
can speak Spanish and I can answer.
But we can understand English, right?
Sure.
Yes.
But,
No. Yeah.
but if they want to ask in Spanish, that
Okay.
would be
Sure.
okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Give me a second. Guys, if you would like to ask also something in Spanish, don't hesitate to do it. You
Yeah,
can ask.
come on, do
Right?
it.
Hi, doctor.
Hi,
Well,
how are you?
hi. Well, I'm really well. Well, in this moment, I'm really well. I have a lot of envy about you because
You?
you're a very skilled person.
Thank you.
You have a lot of studies, and that's it. And I would like to ask to you. Well, at the beginning, I listened something about that you have a master in data science or something like that.
Sure.
I'm wrong. Well, I would like to know more about this because I am really interested on this.
Sure.
So
Thank you.
yes, so if you can tell me more about this.
Sure. The first thing that I have to tell you is that I like your look very much. So I am envious about your look. I like your tennis shoes and your pants and your sweatshirt and your backpack. I wish I could dress like that every day, but I can't.
Yes, well, I want to look at you, but yes, the camera is in
Oh,
front of me. Yeah,
oh, it's okay. So that's a great look. So congratulations on your look. And
yeah,
about your question, data
thank-
science has to do with this idea of with the advent of technology and with the advent of cell phone use, web use, apps, we are collecting thousands and thousands of millions of data. And this data can be used for good and can be used for bad. Can be used for good because they can help see uh, patterns of shopping, patterns of traffic, patterns of studies, for example, and that is helping or is used to help directors, companies, businessmen into what would be the following product, what would be the best strategies. So it has a lot of applications, but especially commercial applications to sell. What could be the best thing to offer? What would be the best product according to this data? So you can experience big data now with your cell phones. The amount of time you spend on WhatsApp, on your apps, you can experience now new cars, for example, have a lot of data. They share a lot of data of the engine, of the driving conditions. If you use a traffic application, they are giving data. So it comes an ethical question: what do we use with this data, and who cares for this data? I think you have big opportunities to be enrolled in data science, and but keep this in mind. Sometimes data science is used also for security, for example, for the identification of faces, or for killing too. So it is your choice, your ethical choice. What would you use the data you collect from people for.
Yeah. Well, do you think that is a hard area to study? To study?
It has it is hard in terms of understanding how you get into the systems and how you can understand statistics, mathematics, and how you can translate that into databases that can be easily managed by users. You are an expert in mathematics and statistics, and that's a good thing. But how would you show a database for a psychologist, for a teacher, for a 10-year-old boy who can be useful for them? So that is the great challenge, to translate your knowledge into something that users can find friendly.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Victor.
No, thanks to you.
Yes. Last question. How old are you? Because I really admire you. Yeah.
Sure.
Because you travel a lot.
Well, I'm old. I'm from the last century. I'm old. I'm dying. I'm uh,
Don't tell me.
I'm a species in extinction. I'm 47.
Oh, 47?
Yes.
Oh, oh no, no, yeah. No, it's okay. Thank you.
But
Thank
let me
you.
tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
When I was young, I I saw many people and I saw a lot of relatives who were my age and who didn't have enough money, who didn't have a stable job, who were suffering to bring food to the table. And I said to myself when I was in my late tens and in my early 20s, I don't like to look. I wouldn't like to look like them. I wouldn't like to be worrying all the time. So that's why I said, instead of going to a party, I would concentrate on studying. Instead of spending my money in beer or wine, I would invest it in a suit for a job interview or in a computer for my work. So I thought about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm old. I'm old. I'm old.
Yeah,
47.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Your words are so
Cheers.
important to me and so many of my partners here. So thank
Yeah,
you.
Teacher Esmeralda has my contact details. Feel free to anytime send me a text or send me an email. I'll be really glad to answer your messages and your communications, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you, Isaac. Somebody else would like to ask something to this very clever man.
Yeah,
Would
I
you like?
wish I was clever.
You are. Believe me, you are. No worries.
Spanish, come on,
Or in
Spanish.
Spanish,
It can be in Spanish.
if you would like to.
Yeah.
No, guys, not really.
Just one
No.
question from the people from psychology. If they have a question, it doesn't matter if it is Spanish. I would really like to listen to them because the other guy was from engineering, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably psychology, someone from psychology that could address a question. That would be interesting.
Psychologists. Could you like to ask something? ¿Les gustaría preguntar algo? Aunque sea en español. No, no questions. I mean, this guy knows about philosophy.
Let
What
me
is
tell them one
really
thing.
deep?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me tell them one thing. You know, a lot of people see just these achievements and this academy and these studies, but they never ask about the personal stuff.
Okay, we have.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, please go.
Yeah, please come here. We have a student from
Sure,
psychology.
perfect.
Hola, muy buenos días. Perdón
Hi,
por mi nulo inglés. Ay.
don't worry, it's okay.
A mí me gustaría preguntarle justamente nuestra travesía por el inglés y el que pues es una materia que es necesaria, a lo mejor a algunas de nosotros, pues sí nos interesaría, ¿no? Como que hablarlo fluidamente y cuál sería a lo mejor un consejo que usted tendría en justamente en esta disciplina y esta práctica que se debe llevar justamente con el inglés, ¿no? Porque al ser otro idioma diferente al que pues de nacimiento nosotros tenemos, eh, ¿cuáles son justamente esas estrategias que usted nos podría dar para, pues, romper esa barrera, ¿no? Entre la indisciplina y la disciplina para poder, eh, que nosotros podamos llegar a, aunque sea, poder preguntarle algo en inglés.
Vale, súper bien, qué buena pregunta. Solo voy a decir dos cosas y con eso creo que queda contestada. La primera, y la pregunta va para todas y todas, todos y todos ustedes. ¿Cómo viven su mundo de la lengua inglesa? ¿Su mundo de la lengua inglesa son solo las clases, son las horas que tengo que hacer en el autoacceso? ¿O cómo viven su mundo de la lengua inglesa? Y les voy a decir yo cómo vivo mi mundo de la lengua inglesa. Mi mundo de la lengua inglesa, para mí, pero esa es mi área de estudio, 80 o 90% de mi día yo estoy o escribiendo en inglés, o hablando en inglés, o escuchando en inglés, o leyendo en inglés. ¿Por qué? Porque es parte de mi vida. ¿Cómo lo puedo hacer yo, que a lo mejor estoy estudiando psicología o ingeniería? ¿Cómo le puedo hacer? ¿Qué música escuchas? ¿Que tienes redes sociales, Facebook? Perfecto. Pero tienes X y estás conectado con la gente de tu área que son especialistas, los estás leyendo en inglés, estás dándole clic a sus vínculos y estás leyendo sus ideas. La pregunta para ustedes sería, ¿cómo vives ese mundo de la lengua inglesa en tu día a día? Porque el inglés es una lengua, no es una materia, sí. Y lo que nos dan en las clases es apenas la punta del iceberg de lo que es la lengua inglesa. Pero ¿cómo viven ustedes? No te tiene que gustar o no les tiene que gustar, pero ¿cómo lo viven ese mundo de la lengua inglesa? La pregunta sería para ustedes y ustedes me ayudarían a entender cómo podría ser ese proceso en el cual podemos mejorar nuestro nivel de inglés. Y lo segundo, que es más importante que la primera pregunta, lo segundo es decirles que nadie habla inglés perfecto. Ni siquiera, si ustedes me preguntan a mí, oye, Víctor, ¿tú hablas español perfecto? Por supuesto que no, y ni quiero. ¿No? ¿Para qué? No hablo un español perfecto. Y eso que soy, en teoría, hablante nativo del español, pero no hablo español perfecto. Me comunico y puedo manejar un registro, puedo hablar en un registro formal, con palabras formales o con palabras informales. Yo también sé un montón de groserías, pero no las estoy diciendo acá. ¿Por qué? Porque no es el contexto ni el lugar, ¿no? Yo también me llevo pesado con los amigos que tengo, pero no es el momento ni el lugar. Entonces, no hablo inglés ni español perfecto y ni me interesa. Lo mismo pasa con el inglés. Yo tengo muchos errores en inglés, pero no me importa. Yo me comunico, trato de expresar mis ideas, tengo un acento, pero no importa. Y lo que nos decía la maestra Esmeralda hace un rato, el haber estado con más personas en el contexto internacional, yo escuché y me comunicaba todos los días con personas que hablaban inglés, pero que eran chinos, que eran polacos, que eran griegos, que eran alemanes, que eran hindúes, que eran de otras nacionalidades, y te das cuenta que todos ellos tienen un acento. Y yo decía antes en mi pensamiento que todos debíamos de hablar con un acento perfecto británico. No es cierto, pero se comunicaban y estaban en una universidad de prestigio internacional enseñando, a pesar de que no tenían un acento súper perfecto. Entonces, no importa, atrévanse, comuníquense, inténtenlo y sobre todo equivóquense, porque si no nos equivocamos, no aprendemos. Y la idea es seguir en el aprendizaje. Entonces, la pregunta va para usted y contésteme nada más una sola cosa. ¿Cómo vive su mundo de la lengua inglesa? Ahí está el detalle.
Sí, un poco
Como
familiarizado.
como dice el filósofo mexicano Mario Moreno Cantinflas, ahí está el detalle. ¿Cómo vive en su mundo de la lengua inglesa? ¿Cómo puedo empezar? No tienes que invertir ni un peso. Descárgate una aplicación como X o como Twitter. Es que me cae gordo Elon Musk, pues a todo el mundo le cae gordo, pero tiene una red que te está llevando información. Si solamente te conformas con Facebook, tienes que ir mucho más allá. Recuerda que tú eres universitario, que tú eres universitaria y tú estás en otro nivel de conocimiento. Busca fuentes que estén a tu nivel. Gracias por la pregunta.
Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo y por sus conocimientos.
No, estoy con mucho gusto para ustedes. Yo trabajo para ustedes. ¿Sí sabían eso, no?
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Is something
teacher.
that would like to ask something else?
What about you, teacher? Do you have any questions, any comments? I think I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that now you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot of things to say, and guys, believe me, you might know or you consider the Self Access Center as a place that I just have to submit some activities, and I just have to go there, and I just have
Uh,
to look at videos and so on. But guys, believe me, out there, the demanding about jobs that ask you for have a good level of English is, I mean, it is quite demanding. So if you that you have time, that you have youth, I mean, you have a lot of things, guys, in order to learn a new language. So please do it. Don't be shy. As I have mentioned, some of you engineers and psychologists, when I was teaching to you, I mean, you are going to make a lot of mistakes. You are going to sound funny, but just try it.
sure.
And if that is a thing that you really, really want to do, try it. And if you don't want to, guys, I have found students who now are graduates that they tell me, teacher, I should have listened to you because now in my job they are asking me to know English, or in the job interview they asked me if I knew English, or, and students that said, teacher Esme, because I know English, it is that I was hired. So, guys, believe me, English is really important. Whatever the field you are in, computer, psychology, I don't know, maybe law, or whatever degree you can picture about, English is important. So you have a lot of opportunities if you know English. So I just would like to end up this interview, guys, by thanking. Actually, he is my boss. As you could listen, he's the coordinators of self-access centers. So he's my boss, guys. So
No, don't say that. I'm not. I'm not even boss of my. Not even of my bed. So don't say
yeah,
that.
you might not, but well, just in order to keep this in a formality way, I just would like to thank you for your time, for sharing
Yeah.
with all of us your knowledge, your person, and I see that you are so inspired about the way you work, the way you um I don't know, the way you just perform as a person, as a teacher, as an educator, as a philosopher, as a lawyer, maybe, because you are many things in this life. But congrats, and thank you for sharing with us some of your time and your person as well. So
Thank
thank you so
you.
much.
The only thing I have to say is to you and to all your students and to people in the staff, the teacher who's helping you with this, I just have to tell you, follow your passion. I followed my passion. My passion was music and music in English. And music in English led me to learning English, to become a teacher, a translator, to travel, to many minutes. So follow your passion.
Okay, so that is your final piece of advice. So thank you so
Sure.
much for sharing. And please, guys, a round of applause for this incredible man.
Thank you. The applause is for you.
Okay, Professor Victor, thank you so much. So I hope to see you. I will send you some details about
Sure.
your constancia and so on.
No
So I
worries.
will some details about it. But thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much, guys, for joining us in this live interview. Thank you so much. See you next time, Professor
Cheers.
Victor. Thank you.
Good
Bye
luck.
bye.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Nos andamos viendo en sus talleres o pues después en sus clases. Muchas gracias, chicos. Muchas gracias, maestro Víctor.
No, gracias a usted, maestra. Muchas gracias. Gracias por el evento. Discúlpeme el malentendido.
No, no se preocupe. Al contrario, gracias porque finalmente esto se llevó a cabo. Muchas gracias.
No, usted hace las cosas posibles y eso vale la pena.
Muchas gracias, maestro. Ahorita le mando su constancia, ¿vale?
Ni se preocupe. Gracias, maestra. Cuídese. Bonita tarde. Estamos en contacto.
Igualmente, bye bye.
Que esté bien. Hasta luego.